In response to the use of American and British long-range weapons on November 21st of this year, the Russian armed forces launched a combined strike on one of the facilities of the Ukrainian defense industry. In combat conditions, one of the newest Russian medium-range missile systems was tested, in this case with a ballistic missile in non-nuclear hypersonic equipment. Our missile men called it Oreshnik. The tests were successful. The launch goal was achieved.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, where we unravel the web of deceit spun by the global elite. Today, we're exposing how Joe Biden's reckless foreign policy and the meddling of Western powers have pushed us closer to global catastrophe. Let's talk about the latest in this escalating crisis. Biden's decision to authorize Ukraine to strike deep into Russian territory with American-made ATACMS missiles is nothing short of insanity. Russia has consistently warned against such provocations. Yet the Biden administration, the UK and other European nations have chosen to ignore those warnings, doubling down on their campaign to undermine Russian sovereignty. For years, Russia has made its position clear. It will not tolerate attacks on its homeland. And yet Biden, backed by his deep state handlers and NATO puppets, has chosen to escalate, greenlighting strikes on Russian soil. This reckless gamble has forced Russia to take decisive action, including the use of intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, for the first time in this conflict. While these missiles have not been equipped with nuclear warheads, yet the message is unmistakable. Stop testing our resolve. The hypocrisy here is staggering. Biden's administration preaches about defending democracy while ignoring the rights of nations like Russia to protect their borders and citizens. The West's reckless arming of Ukraine, including British-supplied Storm Shadow missiles, has not only prolonged the war, but has also dragged the world to the brink of nuclear conflict. And what's Biden's response? More weapons, more escalation, and more lies. By feeding Ukraine with these long-range systems, the US and UK have forced Russia to deploy advanced weapons like the hypersonic Oreshnik missile, which President Putin himself described as immune to interception, traveling at over 13,000 km per hour. This missile struck a target in Dnipro in just 15 minutes, a clear demonstration of Russia's superior technology and a warning to the West. Do not cross the line. Russia's actions aren't acts of aggression, they are acts of defense. For too long, the West has poked and prodded at Russia, encircling it with NATO forces and meddling in its sphere of influence. The deployment of US missile defense systems in places like Poland is a direct threat to Russian security. Maria Zakharova, spokesperson for Russia's foreign ministry, called out the US base in Redzikowo, Poland, as a priority target for neutralization. And why wouldn't it be? This facility is designed to undermine Russia's ability to defend itself, raising the nuclear stakes to unprecedented levels. But here's the truth they won't tell you. This conflict isn't about defending Ukraine or democracy. It's about the Western deep state securing its grip on global power. The military-industrial complex thrives on endless war, raking in billions while ordinary people pay the price. Under Biden, this machine has gone into overdrive. His administration, desperate to distract from its failures in Afghanistan and also the recent elections, has chosen to provoke Russia rather than pursue peace. And let's not forget the UK's role in this mess. The British government, alongside its European allies, has been cheerleading this conflict from the start, supplying weapons and egging on escalation. These are the same countries that have built their prosperity by exploiting others, and now they're dragging the world toward disaster to maintain their crumbling dominance. Contrast this madness with President Trump's leadership. Trump understood the importance of respecting strong nations like Russia. He didn't provoke, he negotiated. He didn't escalate, he de-escalated. Putin himself respected Trump's strength and pragmatism, which is why we saw no major escalations during Trump's presidency. Trump's America First policy kept us out of unnecessary wars and focused on protecting American lives and interests. Compare that to Biden's globalist agenda, which prioritizes NATO's power plays over the safety and stability of the world. Biden's handlers thrive on chaos, and their reckless policies are bringing us closer to nuclear confrontation with every passing day. Putin's latest actions aren't acts of aggression. They are calculated responses to Western provocation. His adjustments to Russia's nuclear doctrine are a logical reaction to NATO's endless provocations and Biden's escalation. The West needs to stop blaming Russia for defending its sovereignty and start looking in the mirror. The real villains here are the Biden administration, the UK and the EU. They've weaponized Ukraine as a pawn in their game, sacrificing its people for their geopolitical ambitions. They've ignored Russia's legitimate security concerns, pushing a proud and powerful nation into a corner. And now they're crying foul because Russia has responded. We need to wake up. The world doesn't need more weapons, sanctions, or finger pointing. It needs leadership that prioritizes negotiation and mutual respect. It needs someone like Trump, who understands the art of the deal and the importance of peace through strength. The stakes have never been higher. Biden's failures, from enabling Ukraine's recklessness to provoking Russia's military might, have put us all at risk. But there's still hope. With strong leadership, we can pull back from the brink and restore stability. Until next time, stay informed, stay vigilant, and as always, don't fall for the politrickery.